Since we are now in 2026, I've decided to do some time travelling. Today we are going far into the future to see what the world of MotoGP has in store for us from now until 2030 according to Milestone. We have 5 seasons. Season 1 or 2 are without the rider transfers, but from season 3 onwards riders are free to move, and let me tell you something, that's where the fun begins. So for the first season we've decided to just fast forward straight through the whole season, because we all know Marc Marquez is going to wipe the floor with everyone.
Hello there.
So this is the part of the video when we remind ourselves that Milestone is an Italian company, so of course Pecco wins in season 1 ahead of Marc Marquez and Alex Marquez, and without too many spoilers, that is actually the best Marc Marquez finish of the 5 seasons somehow. Let's jump into season 2. In season 1, Luca Marini absolutely destroyed everyone, taking the most pole positions on his factory Honda, and continued in that form at the start of season 2, putting it on pole on the opening race of the season and going on to win the first 3 races of the championship, only being beaten by Fabio Quartararo in Jerez. The championship standings after 4 rounds showed a very nice 95 points for Luca Marini. Now jump to Austria, where we have the first weird winner of this season, and that is Ayagoro. Somehow the Japanese rider getting it across the line. Luca Marini at the halfway point still leads the championship, and nothing else happens other than another 60 million pole positions for Luca Marini, another race win, and somehow a Valentino Rossi brother world championship. Fabio Quartararo finishing 2nd and Frankie Morbidelli top Ducati in the championship, proving by far they are the best riders in the world. And of course Marc Marquez, now at the age of 33, not in the top 11 in the world. With season 3 being the start of the rider market, Luca Marini commits career suicide by leaving the championship winning Honda team to join the 2nd tier KTM team. Marco Bezzecchi gets fired out of the Factory Aprilia team, and younger Marquez brother joins on the Factory Aprilia for 2027. With 2027 being an all-new rule set, it was interesting to see the first qualifying session of the year was a Factory Aprilia 1-2 with Alex Marquez being the new boy on the bike, taking pole position and going on to beat his brother by a nice little margin, and that was the start of what turned out to be probably the dull season of the 5. Alex Marquez had a hefty advantage over the field. We jump here to Mugello. Pecco's won 3 in a row at Mugello here. He's won in every season so far, so again shows there is a bit of scripting for some riders at some tracks. Halfway through the season, Alex Marquez 25 points over his brother pretty much. Marc Marquez's first win of the season comes in Malaysia, believe it or not, so really close to the end of the season. Alex Marquez wins it pretty early and wins in Valencia, so going on to prove he had a nice margin and ends up being ahead of Pecco Bagnaia for his first world championship. Teammate Jorge Martin coming home 3rd, and brother Marc Marquez finishing 4th, a lowly 184 points. At the beginning of season 4, Luca Marini ends up leading KTM, joining the Trackhouse team. Going the other direction, KTM to Gresini is Brad Binder, and Manuel Gonzalez is our first rookie. The VR46 duo of Frankie and Fabio Di Gianantonio are on 61 points, tied together, making it look like Ducati is the bike to beat in season 4, but it looks like Alex Marquez has finally found his gear when he's jumped into the lead and won the race in Jerez, putting himself up into 5th position. We now move quickly to Mugello, where of course Pecco Bagnaia once again reigns supreme from Alex Marquez, putting himself top of the championship, displacing both VR46 riders. Now we get to Austria, where you will see for the rest of the season Gresini's are the bikes to be on. Somehow newly crowned Gresini rider Brad Binder is putting it on pole, winning races and destroying the field. Alex Marquez towards the end of the season has managed to work his way to the front, 1 point ahead of Pecco Bagnaia, so the reigning champion has taken control at the top of the championship, but that doesn't matter. Zarco and Binder reign supreme for the rest of the season, 1-2 the whole way to the end of the season, including here in Portimao, where they were untouchable once again. At this moment in time, the championship is going to be decided on who can finish as close as possible to one of the Gresini riders. We go into the final race of the season with Alex Marquez with a 15-point lead over Pecco Bagnaia, so all he has to do is finish pretty decently well ahead of Pecco, and that will be all she wrote, and it's exactly what he did, coming home in P4 to crown a 2nd time world champion in 2 years. Alex Marquez now racking up the championship with 4 overall in total. Pecco Bagnaia for the first time in his career becoming runner-up to a Marquez brother in the championship, and once again Frankie Morbidelli top 3 in the world, proving he is the GOAT. The 5th and final season creates some interesting transfers once again. Binder, after a brilliant season 4, somehow loses his seat at Gresini, moving back to KTM factory seat. DJ Antonio moves home to Grissini after losing out in VR46, which is taken by Oyagora. Aldeguer gets demoted in KTM, and Bezzecchi is now on a satellite Aprilia after only leaving the factory team a year ago. Frankie Morbidelli wins the opening race of the season for the final time in Argentina. At Texas, the two Grissinis on the front row once again, but it's Alex Marquez who wins and then goes on to win again in Jerez. Moving now to the championship standings, a very closely fought battle, and we once again break the game by getting a factory Yamaha contract offer, yet we've scored 0 points in 4 seasons. Finally, somebody has beaten Pecco Bagnaia at Mugello, and that is Fabio Di Gianantonio in the Grissini team, putting himself nicely ahead of his teammate Johan Zarco in the championship at 8 points. At 1-2 once again for the Grissini squad in the Czech race of the season, puts Fabio Di Gianantonio 18 points clear of his teammate as we go to the final round of this season and the episode where Di Gianantonio has wrapped the championship up early and completed a 5th and final season where it really got interesting. He wins the final race from Alex Marquez, and yeah, just overall what a weird and wonderful last season. Moving back to the Grissini team where he got his chance, his first win in Qatar 2022, winning the championship by over 50 points. I think he was the most dominant winner in the 5 years. Pecco down in P9, Samkat Chantra P13, Marc Marquez P15, Pedro Costa down in 16, and Jake Dixon running off in P22. So what does that look in terms of statistics? So first up we have Luca Marini, our champion from season 2. 7 wins he took from 11 in season 2. Unfortunately, when he left Honda, that was the end of his dominance really. He was really good in season 1 with the pole positions, carried that form into season 2, becoming champion. Next up we have Fabio Di Gianantonio, who had a very interesting 5 seasons, only the 2 teams, 9 wins which all came in the final season, so he nearly won every race in the final season, wrapping up his first title and the dominant champion of the 5 years. Now, Alex Marquez, 2 world titles to his name, only 9 wins, not as many as you would expect, but nonetheless 2 teams. He was very impressive once he got aboard that factory Aprilia, racking up 2 world titles for the Italians. And Pecco Bagnaia, the most successful rider in terms of win, 14 wins from 55 starts. Unfortunately enough for Pecco, missed out on 3 world titles, coming second a few times, and only ends up with the 1 world title to his name. So again, a bit of unfortunate, but still very impressive. So then that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy, please do consider dropping a like or subscribing. These longer form videos are a little bit more tricky to make. A lot of editing goes into making these a watchable feature. So I hope you did enjoy. If you want to see more of this sort of video, do please let me know in the comments, as we could do another 5 season, as I have seen the grid for 30-31 and there's some interesting transfers if you'd like to see more. But anyway, that's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one.